Hey guys, welcome to the patch notes. This time with 1.67 and 1.68. I didn't really wait for 1.68 patch notes, but since a lot of people were not really satisfied with 1.67, there has been another patch mostly about balance, and yeah, I can just do two in one now. The first one is probably not that important yet now because of the balance changes, because a lot of them got changed again in 1.68. But there's still some interesting stuff in here. So we start with the matchmaking updates, rating decay. Players rated higher than 1400 who haven't logged in in 28 plus days will lose 1 rating point per day. It says logged in. I don't know if it means play a game, but well, 28 plus days and 1 rating per day is not gonna do too much. It's just they probably just want to test rating decay if it works or not. So yeah, this is for now not really anything that you have to worry about. Okay, so this is not too important. Pathing and targeting. Hopefully they fix that. I don't know. So far I haven't had any issues, but I also didn't play too many games. Potentially fix the black screen bug. Potentially fix this. Routing debugging. Okay, but let's come to the important part here, the game balance. Because this is where most people were not really satisfied. But this is interesting. Okay, so in the future, our goal is to have a mastermind only rank queue. That was they did a poll on what people would like, and most people picked that they would have mastermind only rank queue if there was enough space for like 2 queues, like that you have a normal queue and a rank queue. Then they would like to have mastermind only. But we need more players to implement that. We are growing the team from 2 to 4 and constantly improving the game with new content features. We are confident we can grow the Legion T2 player base 10 times or more. For now, we're just buffing mastermind to make it more viable. Alright, I found preparation time was 70 to 90. Well, could be a mastermind buff, but it's just that they have more time to select stuff. Well, yeah. You're now guaranteed 1 T1 to Tier 3 Arcane Fighter. This helps, but it's still, like I answered the question already, can you still get PV and Vulture? Of course. It's just that you guaranteed one of them, that one of them is Arcane. So either the PV, the Gargoyle, the Aqua Spirit, or the Vulture. Aqua Spirit also counts to this, by the way. So yeah, it is, like some people said, like, oh, only melee. But, I mean, Gargoyle is also not melee. So this is definitely all Arcane Fighters from T1 to Tier 3. And now you start the game with +1 income. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Like, honestly, it doesn't do that much. It might help a little bit with early builds. But some people were already like, oh yeah, at level 16 you get +15 gold. So you can build a bomb very extra. That's amazing. But it can really help early on, though. And you will see why, like you will see later on why this can make a difference. Supply upgrade, now less punishing early game but more punishing late game if you master T1s. So from 60 plus 15 to 50 plus 25. This means at level 2 you have the same cost and after that it's more expensive. But the first one is cheaper, it's only 50. Which means you can go probably for some more Forsaken Math strat again. Can totally work, like, I don't know. Element, Aqua Spirit. Health up, DPS up, damage up, attacks per second a little bit down. We're gonna talk about that later. Windhawk damage up, Mudman health up, Golem health up. Apparently Element didn't have the best winner rates, but this allows for even more people to go 3 Workers Wave 3. But more to that later. Bone Crusher buffed. I don't know why, but apparently Bone Crusher is not being used that much by high elo players. I guess I gotta use them to show them. Harbinger damage down. Hades raised imp mana cost down. A small buff for him. And now the big consort change. Damage reduced a lot, but it got a new ability. Paraphylaxis. Basically the same as its boss, but stronger. Stuns its killer for 1 second, deals 150 magic damage over 3 seconds. Keep in mind that Centaur is not a boss unit. That means if a Centaur kills a consort, it's gonna be stunned for 1 second and it gets 150 magic damage. And if he kills another one, then it's another second. So this is a good anti-centaur, but it lost a lot of damage. And Consort was the main damage dealer on Growth. If you mean, like, if you need to pierce. So this is good and bad. I would say, like, from my perspective, it's good. But it's hard to say, because you kind of need something behind the Consort as well to really make use of the stunts. Okay, Ranger. Damage down, but the damage amplification has been changed from 1% to 1, flat damage. And the marked target is also 100% effective against bosses. On Daphne the same, damage down, Nature's Touch got changed. 30% slow plus 2% damage reduction to 25% 3 flat damage reduction. I think it got even changed again in 1.68. And it's also 100% effective against bosses. Green Devil was already 100% effective against bosses, and Green Devil is just out. I don't know, it's just outscaling everything else. So this was needed, but keep in mind that these are range units, so they will stay alive longer. But this will really help them. Honeyflower change. The damage then on the auto attack got changed to 1, but the fragrance aura got buffed to 10 instead of 7. Makes probably Growth Cross even stronger, but in 1.68 we have some cross changes again. Death Cap also damage changed to 1, but AoE damage is way stronger. Maybe even a small nerf to Death Cap though. Probably not in late game, but I don't know, like probably not really nerf. I think this is more like a buff. This will probably lead more people to go Honeyflower start again instead of Antler, which was just way too strong in my opinion. And Honeyflower was underperforming, and now I like it. I like it more. White main damage down, and I have him damage down slightly. Pyro, nerfing Pyro in cross, buffing in soul lane. This honestly didn't really nerf it in cross. So the damage is up, the splash area is down, or well, the damage for the secondary targets. But the current cross meta is that you delay one lane super hard. That means you kill one wave after the other, which means this doesn't have any effect on Pyro. Like, this is not a Pyro nerf. Okay, MPS health up, Millennium damage up, Doomsday Machine damage up, Mercenaries. The big change, Snail. Health up slightly, income and bounty down to 5. Which means you can't just send a Snail now on wave 2 and get 6 income, and then a Snail again on 3 and get 6 income. You get 5 and 5. The other creeps are still at 12, like Fiend and Lizard. So probably more people will go Fiend 2, or Fiend 3, or Dragon Turtle, and so on. And also small Brute buff and the Forest health buff. So this will probably really change how often people send Snails. Still to end games, probably, or to add stuff, but people will less likely just spam Snails now, I would say. That is my perception. Okay, so that's that. And let's go right over to 1.68. So the wave info got improved. So now it shows the types and the recommended types. So people are like, oh damn, like now they probably really have to read what is says here. I like that. That's good. Finally, like this is really helping new players, because then they can all see the types, because that was not the case before. Okay. Deploying fighters in the mid lane now causes both solo lanes to gain the haste buff. Killing a unit in the mid lane now rewards the gold to the player whose lane the unit spawned in, which may or not be the player who killed the unit. This allows people to probably dual build now, and I really want to see dual build being an effective strategy. Probably not with the 15%, but this, well, it killed Cross a little bit, because the builder doesn't get that much gold, and he can't just get a banana bank wave 3, or I don't know, like a death cap. Okay, he can still get a death cap wave 3 if he builds for it. Probably even a banana bank if he really wants to. But it is way harder, and it is not like a safe, like that he safely gets all the gold. Can still be interesting though. Cross, it's harder now, but I mean the guy, the incomer, gets even more workers now if he wants to. You can play some aggressive crosses like this. It's probably not completely dead, but people have to rethink it again. I mean, they also had to rethink it when they buffed it to 15% and made the delay like, yeah, only one delay. But then people just really spammed units. So, yeah, currently 2 strategies that break cross and make it frustrating to play against. The first is delaying one lane to battle each wave separately. Second is having an incomer and builder. Incomer rushes workers, while the builder rushes expensive splash fighters like Pyro, Deathcap, and Bannerhaven. By nerfing these 2 strategies, we are encouraging players to play as equal partners. Ultimately, what makes cross fun is pulling together with a friend. Yeah, and not just dominating the game because you're abusing any tactics, whatever. You can no longer build in the middle if you don't build there on wave 1. So, you can't build delays anymore. And if you build delays on wave 1, then don't do that. Because, yeah, this prevents players from accidentally building delays, which would cause them to incur the 15% haste buff because the game would think they were crossing. So don't build there. Also don't build behind the friend unless you're really crossing. Because you're gonna get the haste buff and everyone is gonna get the haste buff. So don't do that. King. Now there's slightly less area of effect damage and slightly more single target damage to big units. So cooldown for the spell got upped by 1 second, but the percentage damage got upped as well. This will probably help again against like Ghost Knight and I don't know, like others. I don't know if people still do that much, but usually I don't see the Ghost Knights being leaked anyway. So this would actually be a nerf against like all-ins, unless there's really big units. But I think this is mostly to deal with by 15, because on by 15 you kind of want many small creatures to leak and not too many big on your lane, because the big ones tank forever, and this is probably to work against that. Element, Proton. Health 230 to 220, so small nerf. Violet got nerfed slightly, Phoenix got nerfed slightly. Only small nerfs. Also, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Element in the last patch. This allows them to go 3 workers more often on 3. But you also gotta keep in mind that more people will send 3, like Fiend, Snail maybe, or Dragon Turtle, or Brute, or whatever. So there is also some kind of more danger. And also, they kinda rely on sending snails early as well. So there's a lot of builds that really get affected by this. Okay, let's continue. Daphne, Nature's Touch, damage reduction per stack from 3 to 4. So small buff even. Harbinger got nerfed even more. The mana cost got reduced even more. Leviathan has again more HP, and MPS gets more HP and more damage. So Jules really wants people to use Leviathan, MPS, APS, it seems. They're getting a lot of buffs recently. I think they're already pretty tanky. Like honestly, I don't think MPS is untanky or anything. So it's probably a really good choice to add for like 11, 12 or 8 the APS, 11, 12 the MPS, depending on how many Zeus you have. So I really like that. Yeah, maybe you can even YOLO APS better now, but most buffs are just on MPS. But Leviathan also, again, more tanky. I'm already using it as a tank, and I gotta say, I like this change even more, even though I think it's probably a little bit overtuned already and not really necessary. But yeah, that was the patch notes. Some interesting changes again, and we will see how that works out in the end. We will probably see less cross, and yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna upload the video now, and then you're probably gonna see two more SFL League matches, and then I'm gonna be back to normal matches. We play up to 4 games a week, so yeah, I gotta see how I arrange that better. So that's, I don't know, I will see. So thanks for watching, and as always, give me some feedback what I can do better. I'm currently just reading the patch notes and trying to comment a little bit on it. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you again next time. Bye bye.